Star Wars Celebration Preview.
The celebration!
How's it going, everybody? This is Phil. I'm over here on AMCtheaters.com, and as you all know, Star Wars fans know, that Star Wars Celebration has descended on Chicago, and it's begun today, Thursday, April 11th, and will go on through the weekend. So we're expecting lots of news, the trailer for episode 9, and a bunch of other panels that will reveal information about projects that are in the works, and as well as other panels that are just in general celebrating the saga and the franchise and the legacy of Star Wars. So let's take a look at this article and see what is in store for us going into this weekend, especially tomorrow, which I assume is the big episode 9 panel with J.J. Abrams. And hopefully we finally get a title of the last episode in the Skywalker saga, as well as a trailer. So let's see what's doing, okay? So it says, movie fans love a good party. Star Wars fans, however, prefer a celebration. The semi-annual gathering of Star Wars diehards heads to Chicago this year with a multi-day festival beginning on Thursday, April 11th, that being today. And AMC will be on the scene to bring you the latest updates for all things Star Wars, including what we expect will be our very first look at J.J. Abrams' hotly anticipated and as yet still untitled Star Wars Episode 9. I mean, we're at the point now where you can run, but you can't hide. And it's put up a shut-up time. We thought we would see something by the Super Bowl, and that didn't come to fruition. If they don't come out with something at this point, there's really something going on. I mean, just like you guys just rip the Band-Aid off at this point and get it over with. And I'm certain that we will get a trailer as well as the episode 9 title. So other surprises could pop up at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago, but for now, let's focus on what we know will be revealed. On Friday, April 12th, the eyes of the Star Wars universe will be turned toward the main stage at Wintrust Arena, where Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy and director J.J. Abrams will fill fans in on details of the December 20th release. So they'll fill us in on details, but still try to keep it as vague as possible. Kathleen Kennedy, this is like, we haven't seen next to nothing in regards to her as far as the president of Lucasfilm is concerned. After the massive failure that was Solo, a Star Wars story, which came out last spring, she's really been kind of flying under the radar as far as Lucasfilm is concerned. She really hasn't been out front and center, so this is a big deal to see her in public, and I'm really curious to see what the reaction is going to be in front of a live audience. Will it be a mixed reaction? Is she going to get some boos? Because there's going to be a lot of people in there who do not like The Last Jedi and the direction that the Star Wars franchise has gone, and for a lot of fans in attendance, this is an opportunity to publicly voice their opinions collectively, whether that is by way of booing she's announced on stage. One could only imagine what goes on. I would think that for the most part, people will, I would think they would probably behave. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be such a large crowd there, and we'll see what the split is. But I would imagine that somebody somewhere at some point is going to say something. You just can't do these types of public panels on such a wide scale and have everybody absolutely be a perfect little soldier and play by the rules. So this is an opportunity for a lot of disgruntled fans with the direction of the Star Wars franchise under the leadership of Kathleen Kennedy, since she's been there as president, to voice their displeasure. So we'll see what comes of that by the weekend's end. It's going to be really interesting. I'm really curious to see what happens when she takes the stage. Star Wars Episode 9 will conclude the Skywalker saga for a second time, since it already concluded in the dumpster fire that was Episode 8. So they beat this Skywalker saga to death twice in one trilogy. That began so many years ago in the original Star Wars, though Han Solo, Harrison Ford, and Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill have moved on, as well as Carrie Fisher, who passed away. The new story will continue to build on the backs of new characters that no one cares about, mainly Rey, while bringing the narrative to what we hope is a satisfying ending. I mean, the only thing satisfying about this is going to be when it actually finally does come to an end, and we can move on from here, because the Star Wars brand really is taking a hit after The Last Jedi, and oh man, the good faith that a lot of fans had in this brand as a quality franchise has been tarnished. And you know, I think a lot of us as old-time fans really want to see it get back to a place of respectability, and it's wild to say and crazy to think that the only way that we can move forward is to really close out the original saga, which brought a lot of us here at this point. I mean, it was our introduction into this world, and now we needed to come crashing down. You know, sometimes you got to burn stuff down to build it back up. And the end of Episode 9, when those credits roll, to me, that is the point where we can say, okay, let's now move forward. What are some things that Kathleen Kennedy and Abrams could tell fans? I'm sorry would be a nice start. How about a title for starters? While the titles of the recent films in the new trilogy haven't revealed much, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi are intriguing but vague. Fans, no doubt, will debate what the selected subtitle for Abrams' trilogy crapper is, and what clues it could reveal about the direction of Episode 9. And everyone will lose their shit when, you know, there'll be a gasp in the crowd. The title for Episode 9 is Sith Reborn, and everyone will go ape shit and go, ooh, what does that mean? That's usually how this works. Not that we're trying to be greedy, but we'd also love to see the first trailer for Star Wars Episode 9. That's not being greedy at all. That is mandatory at this point. I mean, this is marketed, and this film is set to arrive in a matter of months, and you got to release a trailer at this point. I mean, it's just absurd. So they're looking for this trailer to drop during Star Wars Celebration. It's amazing that we are months away, exactly, from the film's December 20th release date, and we haven't seen a frame of finished footage. Really, I mean, we haven't seen anything. Pretty much nothing has come out. I mean, it's in a way, I kind of admire the fact that they've they've kept such a lid on it. But you know, at this point, you want to start building up anticipation. You know, all you're really contributing to is more doubt. You know, I don't feel confident in this kind of tight-lipped marketing approach to this movie, given the fact that Last Jedi was such a divisive release. You know, one of the greatest divisive films nearly ever that a fan base has ever had the displeasure of having to tolerate. Granted, this is a Star Wars film, and fans will flock to theaters no matter what the footage in the trailer looks like. Well, you know, not necessarily. See Solo, especially for Episode 9, which will bring the long-standing story to a close. But Lucasfilm could really earn goodwill with fans by releasing a first-look tease during Celebration in Chicago. Again, this is something they absolutely have to do. It's imperative for them at this point. If Walt Disney and Lucasfilm really want to blow the doors off Celebration, though, well, blow the doors off, be careful, because an SJW might take that and tweet it back out, and it would be considered a bomb threat, and then nobody will know where it came from, and then we'll have to trace it all the way back to AMC theaters. So watch what you say when you say blow the doors. Though they will look ahead beyond Episode 9 to the slate of films that might be in development. Right now, fans have no clue what Star Wars films might be coming after Episode 9. There are rumored projects from an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie with Ewan McGregor. I want this more than anything. More than Benioff and Weiss, more than even a Boba Fett film. The Obi-Wan movie starring Ewan McGregor back in the role, to me, is the fanfare goodwill project that Lucasfilm needs to take on. And you know, some people say, well, what could the story possibly be? Look, there's a time period in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, where he could have plenty more adventures. He doesn't just have to stay on Tatooine. He can get called back into duty. He can find himself in the midst of some type of a dispute or conflict where he can't help but get involved, and that takes him on an adventure and a journey that could really be fun and satisfying, especially given the fact that there's so many of the original trilogy characters, villains, ships, planets, everything that we knew from the George Lucas original trilogy. A lot of that stuff exists and would exist in an Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor movie, especially I mean, who wouldn't want to see Ewan McGregor back in the role? I mean, get him back in that tunic. And Ewan McGregor, let's see, Obi-Wan movie with Ewan McGregor to be planned. Trilogies from both Rian Johnson. This is bullshit. I still say this won't happen. And if it does, I won't see it. So regardless, this trilogy will not exist, whether it actually comes out in the theaters and I don't see it, or it never sees the light of day completely. And the Game of Thrones masterminds, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. But details on these are scarce at the moment. Whatever AMC learns during Star Wars Celebration, we will bring that information right to you. In the meantime, keep planning for Star Wars Episode 9, yet to be titled, which will arrive in theaters with a fair amount of fanfare on December 20th. So this article does touch on, some of the things that are going on. Mostly it centers around Episode 9 and maybe a look towards the future. There are other panels that are going to be going on and things that I'm interested in. We have the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game that's going to be coming out. They just leaked the poster for that today, so we'll see what that's going to be all about. We haven't had a good Star Wars game, just a single person sit down type of story-driven Star Wars game in a while. We are also going to have a panel for The Mandalorian, so Jon Favreau and crew will be there. Hopefully we'll see some footage, which is very exciting. Maybe we'll see some of the Bounty Hunters Guild. If you saw my last video, they talked about bringing back IG-88 and Zuckuss. No word on Forlorn, but Bosk is also rumored to be in the show, and I believe Dengar, if I'm not mistaken. And look, we still don't know whether or not Boba Fett could show up. It's a possibility. Also, there's the panel for the Clone Wars, which Disney resurrected for their streaming system, Disney Plus. So there's going to be some pretty cool stuff coming out of Celebration. For a Star Wars fan, you have to go into it, half with optimism and I guess half with skepticism. And they've earned the skepticism at this point, and we can only hope for optimism. So we'll see what we get by the end of the weekend. Hopefully there's going to be more good than bad. And look, who knows, maybe even this Episode 9 trailer will kind of wow us. But, I've said it before, I was blown away by The Last Jedi's trailer. I thought it was going to be something fantastic, the likes of which we haven't seen since The Empire Strikes Back. And I was completely wrong about that. So you got to take some of these things with a grain of salt. Marketing and promotion is there to get asses in seats, and they need to release a trailer that's going to blow everybody away because of the bad taste that The Last Jedi left in a lot of people's mouths. You're going to really have to wow them to get back into the theaters. So anyway, guys, that's it. What are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to the Episode 9 panel? Are you looking forward to seeing what happens when Kathleen Kennedy actually makes a public appearance? That might be one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to, actually, this coming weekend. Are you looking forward to Star Wars Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order, The Mandalorian, the Clone Wars panel? What's the one thing that you're really looking forward to hearing about coming out of this weekend for Celebration? Comment down below. If you like this video, please do me a favor, just hit that like button really quick. It takes nothing for you to do, and it does help small channels out like this. Look, if it's your first time here, please consider subscribing, and I'll try to get some of these videos up, especially this weekend with all the information as it comes out. And that's pretty much it. So I'll talk to you guys sometime soon. Be happy, be safe, be healthy. Have a great night, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.